that should be pretty good. Wow. Okay, never really done this before. Swipe to see real-time performance. This is kind of fun. For notifying viewers that you're live. Somebody join. I got two people join. Sully Pause. Hey. Wow, you guys got a lot there. Okay, basically, hi. My name's Andy. How you guys doing? Yes, giant Star Wars geek here. There's no denying about it. And of course, here's Mo. So basically, some of you know if you've watched some of my hey, how you doing, hon? Borg's always, I love you. You're Big Mo's biggest fan, definitely. But anyways, a lot of you know Mo and I were doing a 5K. Mo kind of did his proportional 5K, and his center foot broke. Basically, that bottom of that foot had it just like a little caster wheel, and it was just, not. I don't think these droids were made for the abuse that I'm putting Mo through. So in the year plus that I've had him, I'm really, really happy that he's actually lasted for so long, honestly, to tell you the truth. So, but this is fabulous. Some of you also may or may not know or kind of gotten a glimpse from some things that I'm also an admin, one of several, on a Facebook page called Astromex Anonymous. So BB7, she is our mascot, so Astromex Anonymous. So I have a friend on AA, as we call it. So yes, at AA, we enable tongue-in-cheek jokes. But I have a friend on there named Nathan. Nathan has a 3D printer, and he saw when I posted on there that, like, oh no, Mo broke a foot. BB7, yes, love it. BB7, actually, she was a contest winner. For Astromex Anonymous, we were having a contest for a mascot, and one of our members, his name is J.Y. Kim, and Jay came up with these alternate colors on a BB unit, and he named her BB7. And of course, we have he made up a whole backstory with BB7 also, too. So it's really great. But anyways, Nathan contacted me like literally that day. And he's like, oh man, I'm sorry to hear about Mo and his foot. He's like, do you need a new one? I actually make 3D printed droids too. I could just take a center foot of my small figure and blow it up and make Mo a new foot. I'm like, that would be amazing. So yeah, so here's Mo's new foot. It's red right now because actually, as you know, with 3D printing, printer lines, and so there's little gaps in the printer lines. So I'm using some Bondo spot glazing putty, and I've just spread it all over there. And I was chatting with a friend from England for a while, so it's nice and dry now. But basically, Mo's foot, and what's great about it is that the original foot, like I said, had that little caster wheel. But Nathan, this was amazing. It's an Omni wheel. That's what that's called. So not only will it roll like this way, like a traditional wheel, but each one of these is like a little barrel. So whatever's always facing downwards, there's always like a little barrel. So this will actually just roll perfectly sideways. So yes, Nathan, top-notch dude. He's a really, really sweet guy. So, but Nathan's like, yeah, I think I got a spare Omni wheel around here, and I'll just blow up this design that I have from one of my own custom built droids. And he's like, yeah, I'll just send that to you. Like, literally, he started printing in the morning, had it finished by the end of the day, and in the mail to me the next morning. It was amazing. I had it in like 3 days. So, but yeah, so this is amazing. So it's kind of cool. So there are these. Actually, my chopstick just fell off the board. I was using a chopstick to smooth this stuff out. But so basically, I can just plop the Omni wheel in here, and then it comes with 2 small pieces that I can just slide in to each side. Of course, they're being a little difficult right now, right? Oh, you know why? I have some of that spot glazing putty inside the holes. I can get that out. But anyways. But those slide in the holes, which holds the axle in. And of course then, rolls perfectly. Yeah, very nice of Nathan. But yeah, no, this is great. The Omni wheel, the axle, I added the little washers onto it too, and you can see the yellow right there. I added a little bit of duct tape because the axle was just slightly thinner than the diameter of the hole in the Omni wheel. So, I just dropped a washer. Hold on a second, I don't want to lose that. Yeah, you heard an R2 beeping probably, didn't you guys? So let's see. Invite Wild I'm getting like comments here from like TikTok. Invite Wild Stallions Printing to go live together. No, it's all right. Wild Stallions Printing. He's a 3D printer, and he's actually making a life-size R2D2 right now. He's a really super guy. I've gotten to know him. You know, every time I see his videos, it's like, hey, it's my friend. So, but he's been helpful in trying to help me. Eventually, I'm gonna actually print. You know, I'm gonna actually print a life-size Mo. That's the goal one of these days, but as you can kind of see from where I'm at now, I'm actually just in an apartment, so I really don't have the room to do it. Although, in an amazing, again, another amazing piece of generosity from another 3D printer in the droid building community, a 3D print design for the R4 head, this trapezoid shaped head here, that just more or less became available to be printed. Otherwise, it's pretty much just been R2 units like R2D2, R5 units, R5D4 of course is the most known of that one, but the R4 just became available, and he's like, hey, just for the challenge, I'd love to try to print an R4 head. I have no use for it, but if I can print it well, do you want me to send it to you? So as soon as he's done printing a head for Chopper, he's going to print me Mo's head. So that would be freaking amazing. So you know what? I'm going to like sand it down, electronics, and get that prepped for eventually when I move. We'll move into a house, and then I'll have a workshop area. So that'll be nice. But yeah, so Mo eventually will have a life-size Mo. It'll be amazing. Does he have a chopper? I think he does. His name is Chris. I can't think of what he goes by right offhand right now. I'm on a Discord group. Is he in Atlanta? I don't know for sure, honestly, to tell you the truth. I'm in a Discord group for 3D printers for droids. I just joined Wild Stallions, got me into it. So I'd have to actually check to see where he is. I mean, there's several choppers around. I mean, Chopper's been a very popular 3D print to do for quite some time, actually. So, and I know where I'm at in New England. I hit a few of the Comic-Cons out here, and the 501st and the Droid Builders, and the Rebel base. Ours is actually called Alderaan base out here. But there's one guy who has a chopper. So there's a guy in Atlanta that has a chopper. Yeah, I like I said, I don't doubt it. Chopper's Chopper. You know, Chopper's just great. I love that cranky little murder bot. He's amazing. Oh, did you guys see? This was great. The live action, the 1-to-1 Chopper that they had at Celebration, that was on stage, that they brought out. And it's great because and it's really been hard to do. A lot of the regular builders haven't done it, but like the chopper that they had, excuse me a second, Mo, decapitation. But Mo, but his, the chopper, like they had that head wobble and the little, you know, and they had the head wobble going. That's actually been kind of hard for a lot of the regular droid builders to do. But that chopper, I believe, you know what, it's maintenance cycle. But yeah, but I think that's the chopper that's actually going to be in the Ahsoka series. So not only is there going to be Ahsoka, there's going to be Chopper, there's going to be Hera, and there's also going to be Sabine. So I'm really looking forward to that. I mean, seeing the live action Chopper and how well they handle him, especially with how in the show in Rebels, how, no pun intended, how he was so animated, and how to see them get around that in live action will be amazing. So I think that'll be amazing. I'm also like really dying to see Hera and how well they do Hera. I love Hera's character. She's like Space Mom. You know, she takes care of everybody on that ship, and I think she's just a great character in general. So, and it's like legitimately, I was like stunned in season 4 Rebels. You know, when Kanan died, and feeling her pain and everything like that. And, you know, then like Chopper went up to her and like held her hand with his little claw. That was Rebels is some of the most heart-wrenching stuff I've ever seen in Star Wars. It's amazing. So props to Filoni for sure. But anyways, okay, so let's see. Let's do a little bit about Mo. Let's do a tour here, all right? I don't have his remote with me out here because, you know, I just was brainless and forgot. I could literally go right in because, like, my apartment's right here. But anyway, so yes, Mo. Mo is he's an R4 unit, which you can obviously tell by his head. Astromechs are made dominantly the master corporation, the most popular corporation to make astromechs in the Star Wars universe is called Industrial Automaton. Yes, and there are, for those of you who don't know, R1s, R2s, R3s, R4s, R5s, R6s, R7s, R8s, R9s, and R0s. And of course, recently on the Halcyon and the Galactic Star Cruiser at Disney, there's a new one. It's called the SK model. He's got like that one center eye, and he's just like a smooth dome. So, but yes, there are multiple versions. So dominantly, you can basically call a droid anything. Where was he made? Actually, he was made down at Disney, as we say, Batu East. So he was made in Florida. I have a friend who lives down there, somebody else on Astromechs Anonymous on Facebook, and his name's Eddie, and Eddie is what we affectionately call a smuggler. When they first announced Galaxy's Edge and they showed all the droid parts that were happening, I said, ooh, okay, I want that part, and that part, and that part, and that part, and those colors, and this colors. And I knew I wanted an R4 head. I've just had a great affection for these heads. I think they're marvelous. And they're very underused for me, in my opinion. So maybe it's just a little bit of sympathy for the head, that he's not, they're not really used that much. So I wanted the R4 head, and there were only two colors. There was this orange one, and then there was a purple one. And I thought, okay, I like orange better. I'm going to do orange. And so then basically it was a decision of what colors work well with the orange. I'm like, well, orange and blue, always a good combination for me. So, and then I also had Eddie pick up the orange panel set. So when you make them, they actually have white, black, blue, and red when they're all in stock. Panels, like the arm panels here and the side panels on the side of the legs. Those are actually all, you can choose what colors you want, or you can buy an additional panel set. So since the orange weren't an option when you make him for free, so I had Eddie pick up an orange set for me. So yeah, I know. Orange has always been one of my favorite colors, weirdly, and like everybody's like, orange, really? But in general, I kind of like autumn colors, so maroon, orange, mustard yellow, that kind of stuff. But yeah, so I made up all the colors and everything like that. Stuff that is painted on him. So let's see here. This little door, his chip door, as we call it. So he's got a purple personality chip. And I added the wire in there too. I just thought it looked a little extra fun. The colors that are in here, I kind of added to, like the blue down there. But if you take out that personality chip, let me see if I can take off his door. So if you take out the chip, you can buy, they just released like 4 new ones of these. So I think there's 10 total now. It gives them just different sounds, basically, but also to some is fairly evenly distributed. There's Rebel chips, Imperial chips, and Scoundrel chips. So Mo has a Scoundrel chip. And the cool part is about down at Galaxy's Edge, when you have him turned on, they're all operated by Bluetooth. So his remote that sometimes you may have seen me hold, it's Bluetooth to him. So it's, a dedicated link. But they are also able to pick up, Galaxy's Edge has beacons all around. And so as you walk around, your droid can react and make different sounds to what he would normally only be able to make with the controller. So like if you have a Rebel droid and he's got that Rebel chip and you walk over to like by where the tie echelon is, all of a sudden, he may be like starting to get a little nervous, and he'll like go like, be jittery and like make nervous sounds or something like that. Of course, the opposite is true if you have an Imperial droid. Yeah, I know it is. It's really cool. They really thought a lot about it. The scoundrel chips, I really don't know too much what they do around the park. I think there's at least 6 or 8 different beacons where they'll react to different things. So it's really, really well thought out. If anything, the mouse does do a lot of thinking as far as, in getting into detail and little extra things like that. So, but yeah, so he's got the scoundrel chip, a purple scoundrel chip. And there's a YouTuber, his name's Dano, and I watched Dano, and I remember when I took Blue to see Kylo, and he told me, right? Hey, Bolt! Hey, Bolt's dad, how you doing? Bolt and Blue. Hi, I didn't see you guys got on here. That's great, man. Yeah, exactly. See, so you could probably have Rebel chips in yours, right? Because when he went to see Kylo, he panicked a little bit and he like was freaking out. But yeah, so I watched the Dano channel, and he's got a whole lot of stuff. Dano actually also started a Facebook group called Galaxy's Edge Mubo Droid Builders Club, which is an amazing group. I love it. I've been a part of it for quite some time now. And morning. Here we go. Wait a minute. Honorary sip of good morning. So yes, I got a giant Bubba, so I got some vinyl stickers. I made a Mo and I stuck an R2 on the back. But I totally forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, Dano's channel. So he started the Mubo's Droid Builders Club. Great creativity on there. It's amazing. It really is. So the people painting and customizing and everything like that, their droids, freaking amazing. Honestly, what they do over there, it's just freaking amazing. But Dano went through all the chips, and you could hear each one what they sounded like. So I decided to choose purple, and I kind of like the fact that he was a little scoundrel. So that actually kind of set Mo on the path to what his backstory would be. Because at first I didn't really have a backstory, and one of the reasons I love Star Wars is that it's so detailed. Like everybody's got a story of some kind, or everybody's at least got a name, So it's just I find that's one of the things that's amazing. And of course, since 1977, I saw Star Wars in the theater back then, and R2 was the first thing I fell in love with. Just in Star Wars or in science fiction in general. So, you know what? I'm going to tilt this down. It's great. I have this little tripod. Basically, it's a bitchin' selfie stick. And so, it's telescoping. It's got clamps, and I love this thing. Again, totally forgot where I was going. Oh, yes. Mo's backstory. But yeah, so the scoundrel ship kind of started him on his backstory. And the droids, and I love the droids especially. Maybe it's just because that's 7-year-old me, falling in love with the droids. But I've always liked robots and things like that. So of course Star Wars has a plethora of robots. So it's been amazing just to see all the different kinds and everything. And and I love finding out all of the backstories. The detail is just amazing. You find out there's a recent book. I was chatting with somebody else on TikTok and making a comment on there is about R5D4 and what happened with him and everything like that. And of course, we find out what happened to him eventually. He ended up with Melly and all the pit droids in Mos Espa. But yeah, you find out what actually happened with him in a book, A Certain Point of View. If you read this book, it's great, or listen to it on Audible. A Certain Point of View, there's a Star Wars one and an Empire Strikes Back one, and it's basically filled with a bunch of short stories just about everything, and it's all canon, so everything that takes place while the rest of the movie is going on. So one of my favorite stories in there is about a Jawa named Jot, who is on the Sandcrawler. And Jot's duty is to erase all the memories of all the droids that they pick up. And of course, Jot comes across R2. So I won't spoil that one. But yeah, so Scoundrel Mo. he basically, one of my favorite aliens is the Ithorians, the Hammerheads. Um, so I decided to pair Mo up with an Ithorian, and I thought, you know what, I'm not going to have him be too crazy or whatever. I like the whole idea of, helping out when you can, but you got to take care of yourself. So that's why the Ithorian is a cargo pilot captain. The ship, I'm trying to think if I've shown you guys the ship or not. I don't think I have. I actually took some concept drawings and I made, most. It's so much fun. Mo sounds. Sometimes I'll just sit there and I'll just make him beep when I'm shooting video. And I'll just let him run through his entire cycle until I see something or hear something of his that just like sounds right. Or even if it doesn't, like I'm in the middle of a really good take and he like says something. And then later on when I'm editing, I have to go back and figure out, okay, what did he actually say? Did that sound sarcastic? Was that a sarcastic beep? Would he have said something sarcastic there? Because it's random sounds when you make sounds. So I thought that was kind of, some of the words on the screen that I put, or sometimes it's inspiration in the moment of editing of what he would actually say. I actually have him, it'll just be like, okay, I think this is how the plot line's going in my head for a story. And then he'll like say something completely different. And I'll be like, well, that was kind of a twist. I wasn't expecting that. But that's just Mo. He's, I imagine him a little bit like Chopper, a little bit cranky. He's just kind of like, I'm not putting up with it anymore. He's been around a lot. What chip is in Mo? Yep. Oh, I just showed this, but I'll show it again. Behind his painted door here. I'll pop the door off really quick. He has the purple scoundrel chip. So, and I added the wire and I added the colors in there. Well, that was something else I was talking about too. The things I've painted on Mo. So, but yeah, I'm all over the place on this, aren't I? Sometimes it's kind of fun though. But anyway, so he has the orange panel pack. So he's got, his orange side panels here. He's got the one orange arm. The white one is what actually came with Mo when he was built. The white chip door, I actually painted that one. The horseshoes, as we call them in the droid builder world, I painted those white. These are just the stock orange here. Am I going to paint his foot? Yes, I am. I am going to paint his foot. Let's see, of course I painted back here, and I painted the white around there. Painted the blue here. Painted the blue here. I made the little cowl around his projector. Actually made that. It's just 3 little pieces of plastic I glued down, cut into shape and glued down. Painted that. It's got a little bit of more paint right here. I think I painted that spot right there, those two. But all in all, oh yes, and Mo he's got a couple little tattoos. I got a Mubos right there. And let's see. Oh, and the company that makes Astromechs, Industrial Automaton, there's their logo right there. So I actually also got those stickers from the smuggler that shipped Mo out to me, Eddie. So Eddie's got a cricket or a vinyl cutter or something like that. So yes, Mo will love it. I'm debating some colors now. I think I'm still going to stick with blue and orange. I may also keep some white on it. His foot. So basically, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking. I still may paint like the sides and the back blue. It's got like a little ridge in the front, like a little stripe like his old foot did, but it's thicker. So I kind of like that. It's different. And it's got like this neat little, I don't know if you can't really see it. It's kind of like got like an angle on it. It's like it goes up and then it goes down a little bit. So it's got a nice little angle on it. I think I'm actually his old foot had that little stripe orange. So I think I'm going to keep this one orange again, but I may keep the front of the leg white. Still kind of thinking about it. So, but yeah, once I get all this sanded down, I have my trusty rusty sander. So I was out here sanding down, and I was chatting with a friend from England earlier. But yeah, once I get this sanded down, I'm going to primer it, and then I will be able to paint it all up. So hopefully it'll go well. Let's see here. Oh, something else interesting about the foot. Yeah, it's not bad. I think it might work. I think it might work, actually. The colors, I'm kind of rolling around in my head, and, you know, when I'm bored at work and, you know, don't have a lot to do mentally to think about. This is the stuff I think about. It's like, you know, when I'm when I'm home alone and the TV is broken. It's, you know, I have 7 things going through my head at any given time. I really, really do. Seriously, my head just doesn't stop, and sometimes it makes it hard to sleep. So, but anyways, for some of the new folks that were here, this is great because Mo has got an Omni wheel now. Before it was just like a little caster. So this is fabulous because now, see, like with these little barrel things, the wheel can roll sideways as well as in a forward motion. So, loving that. I'm trying to think here if anything else. I mean, I don't know. I was just going to kind of work on it. Here, let me spin this around a little bit. I'll pull my camera out of my little awesome selfie stick here. So yeah, here's my awesome selfie stick. See, it's got like a little collapsible tripod. Those feet can actually come off. So, but see, it's got nice little clamps, so it can just raise and lower. I love that. And let's see, then I have another setup here, spider clamp, I kind of call them, octopus clamp. And this is my old cell phone. Actually, I use that to record everything now. All of Mo's videos, dominantly everything. So I had that angled down so to look at the foot when I was working on it. But so that's kind of, I don't know. Any other questions, stuff? Oh, this was kind of interesting too. The little squares right here. You notice R2-D2 has these. All the R2 units have them. These are, it is. I'll get to that in a second. These are actually called the PSI lights. Something indicator. I can't remember honestly what it is. I know I have a book in there that will tell me. But it was something I always thought, I love the PSI lights, but you know, they're not on the R4 head. So I actually made those. So here we're going to decapitate Mo again. I actually cut into the dome. And, yep, you can see it in there. I had some square styrene tube, and I just cut rectangle holes, glued the tubes in, and then the color, you can actually see, was actually just colored rods. I just cut little nips off of them, put them in, and then the kind of the clear coat you can see on it is, it's actually future floor wax. I know, kind of a crazy idea, but it looks good. It's not bad. It actually kind of gives it a kind of a glass cover look. So, yes, Big Mo. Actually, I am. That's in the works. And I'll tell the story again really quickly. I'm part of a Discord droid builders group. I actually had somebody on there. The files for an R4 head actually not too long ago became available, and somebody contacted me and said, hey, just for the challenge of it, I want to print that R4 head, but I have no use for it. You want me to send it to you when it's done? Yes, thank you very much. So yeah, I'm actually gonna get, right now where I'm at, I'm in an apartment. I really don't have the space for it for a workshop or anything like that, but I can work on a head. So yes, so when I get the head, I will have to do this entire putty sand fill, because this is the bane of existence of 3D printing, to get a smooth surface, unless you have a resin printer. But yes, Big Mo will eventually be coming, because honestly, you know what, the thing is, I go to a lot of Comic-Cons, I really do. My wife and our friend, we actually make stuff and we sell them at Comic-Cons, and we sell them at board game conventions, craft shows, and things like that. And one of the things that I always gravitate toward, surprise, surprise, is the droid builders. So I've gotten to know quite a few of them where I'm at. And for me, you see like a lot of videos of little kids interacting with the droids. And just to see their little eyes just light up in the imagination, like, oh my God, I saw that on the screen and now it's real and in front of me. I love that. I love, to the depths of my heart, I love that because I remember being that 7-year-old kid and seeing Star Wars on the big screen. And so for me to be able to have a big Mo, a full scale Mo, and just have some fun with him and take him around. Yes, he's not on screen. I mean, God, would I love him to be? Of course, it would be killer. Even if he was like in the background of a panel of a comic book, Mo would be official. That would be amazing, right? Yes. Um, but just to see him rolling around and kids interacting with him would be amazing. I mean, to me, Mo's, I've had him for, want to get him at the end of January last year. So almost a year and a half now. So for me, he's very real. He's very real. Um, but to help bring that around for other people, other kids to see him, and already he's kind of known between some of the builders, anyways. So it would be kind of fun, and I know a lot of people going, yes, you totally need to make a big Mo. So yeah, it will be happening. That head will be being sent to me probably in a month or so. Um, so that'll be great. I would love that. Yeah, it'll happen. It'll happen. It'll just take a while. I'm gonna have to build a full scale droid is an intensive, time consuming thing. Uh, of course, it really depends on how much time you put into it, how much free time you have, how much money you have. Literally, I have seen everything from $500 droids to $20,000 droids. And it's really amazing. A lot of it depends on the kind of materials that you use to make it. Um, I've seen people make droids out of cardboard sonotubes, basically like the really heavy. Don't tempt me. I may ask you to buy a part from Mo. But like that's used to pour concrete. I've seen people use those sonotubes to pour concrete. I know people who have, or I've seen people who have completely metal R2D2s with like literally every gadget that you've seen on screen. There's a feature that's called 323 in the big droids. Basically, everybody who makes a droid, they build it in the tripod stance. They'll build it like this, and it's what? 'Cause it's easy. He's already there. It's easy for him to roll around. Some people build it in what they call a manual 323, so it's easier for transport. So yes, they do roll around like this, but then to transport it, you can actually unscrew some bolts, put his legs up, and then you can just like lay him down in the back of your SUV or something like that. A lot of people, I have seen a few people, and it's extremely hard to get done. They do a mechanical 323. So basically, the droid by himself, when you flip a switch on your remote, the droid will go forward, extend the leg, drop it back, and do it all by himself. Freaking amazing. The engineering is wonderful in it. I'm considering doing a manual 323 just because I think it'd be easier to transport. But yeah, there's a lot of learning to do when you build a droid, because not only, obviously, I mean, I have basic carpentry skills. I have mad crafting skills. So doing a lot of that and just building the body will not be hard. Electronics, another matter entirely. So there's several programs I'll have to learn and things like that. To build his body too, undoubtedly, unless I hire somebody to print things for me. I'm gonna have to buy a 3D printer, which I would love to do anyways, just because that would be fun. So Nick the guy, Nick, how's it going, buddy? Oh, Nick the guy, you are definitely not mechanically inclined. Yeah, I mean, I am a little bit, just because. But but yeah, mechanically inclined. I mean, a decent amount. I have a very good variety of tools that I've used at a few jobs over the years. So, anyways, I have to tell you this. Nick, the guy that just joined, he's another buddy of mine here on TikTok. good Star Wars fan and an avid R2D2 lover. And I have to plug this too. Nick just sent me, he wrote a, my droid says it's time to build. Yes. Yeah, no, a big Mo is coming. A big Mo is coming, Nick. I was just telling everybody here, somebody offered to print me a Mo head just because they want the challenge of doing an R4 head because those files became available. So, yeah, crazy. So somebody's gonna send me a Mo head. I'm gonna pay for his materials and things like that. So, no worries. Um, but anyways, what was I saying? Oh, Nick. Nick wrote a book. Okay, so this is actually pretty amazing. The book is called Safe Space. And Nick, I won't say too much. I'll just say that Nick had a lot of tough times in his younger years. Things haven't always been spectacular. Um, but Nick, because he randomly walked into a theater and saw Star Wars when he was just a youngling, like so many of us, it changed our lives. But for Nick, literally, it was something. You're welcome, Nick. But for Nick, it was something that literally saved his life. His love for Star Wars and his ability to hold on to that and grasp that lore and that legend and that love and that universe. It really helped him with a lot of struggles that he had. So literally, I mean, I'm only a couple chapters in, and but Nick, I love that. Like I told you on that when I messaged you, I love that first chapter. How you just carried your little R2, your old, Kenner 3 3/4 R2 with you wherever. Um, yeah, Star Wars genuinely helped, just saved him. Yeah, you know what? You're right, hon. It saved a lot of us. I mean, I remember being, madly teased, back in the day about being a geek and liking the nerdy things and blah blah blah. Because I never played football and I played a little bit of little league, but this was always more my thing. Just in general, Star Wars, Star Trek, Transformers, all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, for Nick, it really helped save him, and it actually built a lot of his life too. It gave him a love of movies and correct me if I'm wrong, Nick, but because I haven't gotten that far in the book, but like lightsabers brought about a love of learning how to do sword play and using a sword. Nick is also, and I don't know if this is directly because of it or not, because of Star Wars, but it also helped him get into the movies. So it did. Okay, beautiful. Um, but yeah, it helped him get into the movies. So Nick has actually been in quite a few movies. And this is great because you said you were in Scooby-Doo 2, the second live action. Yes, Jawas. Love Jawas. Also one of my favorites. Ithorians are probably tops. Jawas are probably second or third favorite alien. But so Scooby-Doo 2, you were in that, and you were in the one costume, and I was reading about that, and I looked over at my wife, and she loved those movies when she was younger, and I said, honey, do you remember Scooby-Doo 2? Do you remember this? Yeah, I know. And I said, do you remember this character? And she goes, yeah. And I said, that was Nick. And she's like, oh, really? That was cool. So she got a nice laugh out of it. She was kind of amazed that it was funny that a movie that she loved from her childhood was now like less than 6 degrees of separation. So, but yeah, Nick's had a pretty cool career with the movies and stunt work, and but anyways, getting back to this book, Nick wrote this book called Safe Space. Um, some of the book I haven't quite gotten to some of those parts yet. I'm not going to be comfortable to read because it's about some hard times. Uh, but I think it will, at the end of the day, it'll be a very fulfilling read. And it'll be amazing to get all the way through it. And I know, and this is I haven't. put this out into the world yet, so you guys are the first to know this. I'm actually home. I'm not at work right now because I'm at home with COVID. Yay! So, yes, please do. It's amazing. It is about hope. And it is. Because if anything, there's a constant theme of hope throughout it all. The rebels always have hope. Um, and Star Wars gave you that hope too. You know, it gave you something to hold on to, and it gave you something to focus on. So it is amazing, really. It is, and Nick. It's an inspiring story, hands down. Safe Space, the book. Go get it by Nick the Guy here on TikTok. So I'm really looking forward to getting through it. But like I said, yeah, I'm home with COVID, so had it on Monday. Finally got tested. Yeah, sometimes it is. Honestly, yeah, I've had some pretty crappy times in my life. So yeah, just hoping for the next day and just getting through the days. It's really sometimes it's all you can do. Um, you're welcome. You're welcome, bud. Yeah, and I'm actually doing fine now. I did a home test yesterday, and my work wanted me to do a doctor test. So yes, yay, I'm positive. But honestly, right now I'm feeling pretty good. Um, Slept kind of terrible last night, but honestly, I've just been really tired. But honestly, I thought most of it was just because I was getting up a few hours early, so I didn't think I was COVID-y. So had some muscle fatigue. I just thought, oh, I have a physical job. I work in a warehouse, so I just thought it was just the job getting me down. But yeah, on Wednesday it was in the morning. I was just like, oh, I'm way more tired and way more fatigued than I should be, and I went home, took a test, and yeah. So, Nick, I have some time to read some book. So, yeah. But yeah, check out Nick the Guy's book called Safe Space. It's beautiful. Great cover art on it too. I like that. And you said there was something about the cover art. You had a friend do it or something like that as well. Am I okay COVID wise? Yeah. Yeah, like I said, doing fine now. Slept a little crappy last night because we have a 2-bedroom apartment. So I was in the spare room / office. So new bed, wasn't next to my wife. Cats weren't in the room. So we have 2 cats. Um, so yeah, really. Thank you. I will. But yeah, I'm feeling better. Honestly, I've been chugging my giant Bubba keg filled with a probiotic fluid. So my wife Kim has been making me some very good food. She's been taking care of me. It's funny. She'll like drop food at the door and then back away. She'll like, okay, ready. Feel like I'm in a really nice prison while they shove the food under the door. Nick the Guy, Pia. Oh, that's the guy that's the person who did the art for the cover. Nice. Okay. Yeah, yeah. I think it's also really nice how you included your little 3 3/4 Kenner R2 on the cover too. So you can tell that droid has been loved. And like you said in that first chapter, he's been with you. Thank you, Han. I will. I am feeling better. Um, and that's the other thing too. I love to collect figures. Obviously, but I love the beater figures because you know what? I remember playing um, back, in the day. He does. He still goes with you everywhere, huh? Your little R2. I think that's actually great. I really do. He's probably not far away from you right now, is he? Um, but yeah, it's just the beater figures. Because I just imagine all of the childhood adventures that those figures went through. Nope, he's not. He's probably within a 3-step radius of you, isn't he? That's beautiful. I love it. I'm laughing at the joy of it because honestly, I understand that. I really, really do. Um, but yeah, the beater figures I love. I really love. And here's a flashback from back in the day when I did. I had a friend named Scott, and back when we were, so we were probably 8, 9, 10 years old, and we would play Star War. And I grew up on a 5-acre farm. We had some crabapple trees that were, I don't know, a decent distance apart, maybe like 30 feet apart. And we would take our figures, and he would go by one tree, and I would go by the other, and we'd set our figures up. And vehicles and things like that and whatever. And we would take the crab apples when they were starting to fall in the autumn, and we would throw them. We just chuck them at our figures. If you hit a figure, he's dead. No, sorry. Basically it was the one with the last figure standing. So like if you hit a vehicle, the vehicle was damaged. You could use a turn to repair the vehicle. You could use a turn, not throw an apple, to move a figure. If your figure was inside the vehicle and the vehicle got hit, the vehicle was damaged, you had to take the figure out. We had a whole huge set of rules for the Star Wars. So, and it's funny too because I have a vintage land speeder, and still have just like you do. I have a whole lot of original figures. Sadly, I got rid of a lot of them in the '90s and the dark times when they just weren't making anything. But I still have quite a few. I still have my original 3PO and R2 though, and they're on a wall display in the living room. But the people who bought the farm when we moved out, weirdly, like 2 or 3 years ago, they saw my mom at a grocery store. And they're like, "Oh my God, I think this is you. Is it you? Yeah, it's you." And they're like, "If you ever want to come by anytime to see the farm, come on by." And I'm like, "I want to do that." And I want to bring some figures. I want to bring my land speeder that I had back then. And I want to take some pictures by crab apples. It's the stupidest thing. But that will be like the mint thing to do for me. And it'll be beautiful. I want to do that. So that's like one of my bucket list things is to go take a picture of my vintage Kenner figures, buy some crab apples at my old farm. So anyways, I know, and I am too. It's just one of those things of like, where I grew up in Indiana, and I'm out here in New England. So getting out there, all my family's out there. So getting out there is like a once or twice a year thing, at best, and lately, because of, I just got this new job a couple of years ago, so my vacation time isn't what it used to be. So it's just a matter of getting out there and then contacting them and this and that. So there's contact information, and we have that available. But yeah, eventually, and I would love to bring my daughter out there too. That would be amazing. Yeah, and here's the mind blower even for me. She just turned 21 this year, so. But I would love to take her out there and say, like, "Look, this is where Dad grew up. See this barn? See that hayloft? I had so much fun in that freaking hayloft. I would spend like the entire day like rearranging hay bales in the loft and making forks." Hey, here's this foundation. We would play in this old abandoned foundation, and like literally, I'm not kidding you. My childhood in the '70s and early '80s was spent running through cornfields, playing hide and seek. So, yeah, it was definitely some good times. Okay, just had somebody message me on Messenger. Yes, they hope I feel better too. So, yes, the COVID's totally receding. So, hey, you know what the good thing is? I've got COVID pay from work, so I got 5 days of vacation. So more time to work on some Mo stuff, definitely will give me time to work on his new foot. Yeah, they were really good times. They were really, really good times. I loved that. That was some magnificent times. It really was. You just can't compare it to like some of those old times, Of course, everybody's got great times that they have good nostalgia of back when they were kids. So I'm not going to besmirch anybody's times, but honestly, when you got up on a Saturday morning, watched cartoons until noon with your bowl of Captain Crunch, and then said, "Bye, I'm going out to play," and then you didn't come back until it was dark. Yeah, I went to go play in the forest behind the cornfield. If I fall and hit my head and went unconscious, nobody would ever know. Okay, Nick, all right, hey, thanks for joining in, bud. I appreciate it. And I'll get back to you about more on that book, too, and reading it. Nick the Guys has a book out called Safe Space. Read it. I've been reading some of it so far, and it's really, really great about how Star Wars literally saved this guy. So, Captain Crunch and ice cream, hopefully not at the same time. Or I don't know, did you crunch up the Captain Crunch and like use it for a sprinkle on the ice cream? Maybe. That might not be bad, actually. Not I might have to try that. I have to go buy some Captain Crunch. Anyway, but yeah, so. But yeah, there's there's a little flashback into Andy's life. But yeah, so I'm basically now sitting here at home and somewhat confined. I'm like on the front porch here, so it's not so bad. Captain Crunch was definitely my favorite. Yeah, Captain Crunch was amazing. Also, to my mom's mom, we called her Mamaw. Mamaw would always, whenever we'd go and visit, she lived about an hour away, and where my cousins would live too. Um, she would go shopping for us whenever we would come, and she would have a paper grocery bag, and she would say, "Hey, shh." Let's see. Yes, Nick, thank you. Safe Space, a true story of faith, betrayal, and the power of the Force. Yes, honestly, check it out. It's going to be an emotional read, and it will be probably upsetting at sometimes, hard to read. But at the end, you'll see how Nick kind of triumphs. Alrighty, buddy. Nick, talk with you soon, man. But yeah, you'll see how Nick triumphs over a lot of horrible things that happen to him. And that's kind of all I'll say. I'll just kind of leave it to you guys to go and pick up the book, Safe Space. Yeah, go for it. Um, yeah, you'll find it. I mean, I've got the book without the dust jacket sitting like literally on the other side of the window right here. Dust jacket's in the living room. But yeah, no, it's a nice book. Yeah, no, check it out. Like I said, I'm only a couple chapters in right now, but it's been good so far. Um, anyway, so I'm trying to think I hear anything else. I mean, let's see. Mo. What else? Anybody want to know anything about Mo? I see, that's the thing. It's kind of like I can't think of, like, I can't even really see here. This is the first live I've done. 352 likes. This is awesome. 5 people are watching now, I think. Seems to be. Yes, and the glasses, yes, the glasses are for distance. So I got kind of like bifocals. So I got like, distance and then close up, but sometimes it's just easier to go like this. But anyways, Mo is from Galaxy's Edge, Disney. He was made in Florida, so but to east, as they say. Got neighbors walking around. There goes one of them. But yeah, basically, as soon as I saw that they were doing Galaxy's Edge, I said, I have to have a droid, because droids, right? Can you add anything to Mo? Yes, actually. Okay, like I mentioned before, I'm an admin on the Facebook group Astromechs Anonymous. I'm one of a couple admins. I did not start the group. An amazing guy named Pete Jones started it, and I just happened to join on day one. And then, like, within 2 months, he's like, "Yeah, I made you an admin." I'm like, "Thanks." But anyways, yes, there is a woman on there named Delia. Her father, he worked all of his life with metal, doing different things. Delia has made at Disney, or had made at Disney, I can't remember. She's got a couple droids, basically. They have a chopper, they have an R2, she's got an R5. And basically, her dad, he has used his metal skills to motorcycle. I don't know if you could hear it. Anyway, but he's used his metal skills to add stuff to his droids, and I thought, that would be kind of amazing. Can you make me these? And then Delia said, "Let me ask my dad." She asked her dad. Her dad's like, "You betcha." So sweet. I'm basically trading them a Hobby Lobby gift card for these amazing. And should I tell you what they are, or should I not? I don't know. Should be a surprise in the video. Maybe, maybe not. Yes, what? Yes, keep it a surprise? Okay, yeah, I won't tell you what it is then. Tell me now. Yeah, I knew you would say that. Basically, Mo is getting a pair of arms like Chopper. So I figured it'd be hilarious. They will fit inside of his side panels here. So the side panels, you can see there's holes for attachments that you can buy at Galaxy's Edge, but they will basically go in here. So basically, he will have arms that pop out. I'll actually have to physically like screw them in. Yeah, it'll be fun. So actually, I have to physically screw them in, but I can just imagine. I know it'll be fun. Like Chopper has them coming out of his head, but I can just imagine Mo like sitting there like one like really, really again, arms on the hip kind of a thing. But these arms are great because they're made out of metal. He uses brass and copper tubing. They'll be fully jointed. So at the shoulder, basically for the arm, there's a screw, and it will go in the holes. I'll probably put them in the top hole here. But then the elbow's articulated, the wrist is articulated, and it's got little gripper claws that are spring loaded, so he'll be able to hold things too. So not only will, here we go. See, Mo has a little magnet. That's how he holds his little red Solo cup. So it'll be a whole lot easier for him to actually hold things. But that'll probably always be his little Solo cup holder. But yeah, so no, that'll be kind of fun. I think I'm just gonna probably I was thinking about like how can I introduce this in a video, and yeah, actually, Delia is also sending me like 2 little teacups, so the gripper arms can hold the teacups. So I thought that was kind of amazing. Let's see. I just want to check my notifications here, guys. See if anybody's tried to contact me. It's actually no. Okay. It's actually my wife's last day at work today. She's got a new job, so I just wanted to see if usually she lets me know when she's coming home or on the way or checking on me. So, but yeah. So he's getting she's sending me a couple little teacups. So his little spring-loaded grippers will hold on to them. The teacups. So it's gonna be amazing. But I was thinking about something like one of her droids is called Fiverr. And basically looks like R5D4, but it's the same white, red with a little bit of blue, but still like fancier paints. He's like a pearl metallic white instead of just regular white. Things like metallic paints. So, but I think I'm just gonna have like Mo like all of a sudden like pop out his arms, and I'll be like, "Where did you get arms?" Oh, I hooked up with Fiverr's mechanic. I hooked up with Fiverr's mechanic on that last run that we did for cargo transport, and yeah, so do something like that. And I'll just be like, why do I sense trouble in the future? So, but I think it'll be a lot of fun. Hey, I just had somebody else like a video. So, but yeah, so this will be. I think it'll be fun. Honestly, just adding on to Mo will be amazing. I mean, like already, like on his head. You don't see it too much, but like there's a hole on the top here, and that's essentially there's a serving tray like R2D2 had on Jabba's sail barge, so that's for like the little drink dispenser that spins around. But I've been thinking about like how could I use that too? I don't know how I want to use that. So yeah, the creativity in my head spins so madly. There will be basically no end to the stuff that I could probably do for Mo. Yeah, it's just basically it's a matter of free time. Really is how much that I can do. Really, like I mentioned before, for those of you who were here and some of you who weren't, I've basically my wife, friend, and I have a crafting business. Ooh, like a little GoPro or something. That's an interesting idea. Yeah, that's an idea. A little GoPro on there, get a Mo point of view. That could be fun. I can find a used GoPro or something like that on Facebook Market or something like that. I'd love to get one of those anyways, really. Honestly, that could be kind of fun. That's not a bad idea. I'll have to think about that. That's actually pretty smart. I like that. I'm sure there's some kind of, and you know what I could do too? One of the things that I like about this selfie stick tripod that I'm using right now, actually let me show you with this. this is what I was using to record my progress with the Mo foot. Um, in I'm a photography nerd. Um, so I honestly I have like 6 tripods of some capacity. Um, this right there, and like on the bottom of the spring loop, that's called the universal screw. It's always the same size. GoPros have a universal screw. So if I buy just a really cheap ass dollar store selfie stick, I could bust that little brass socket out of there. I might even have a spare one of these little clippers laying around too. I could probably mount that inside of there. That would solve the GoPro mounting problem. Because then a universal screw on the GoPro would just screw right into the top of his head. That would actually be kind of amazing. Wow, God, see, now I got a really good idea. See, I get good ideas in my head. Yeah, I didn't. Thank you. Get good ideas, and then I just have to do stuff. Yeah. Wow, that actually might be kind of fun. Of course, my wife may roll her eyes again, but you know, she's used to that by now. I think she's not quite prepared for the insanity that was going to happen when I got Mo. But hey, you know what? Honestly, the way I see it is that, yes, a lot of us are crazy. Yes, a lot of us have, like, literally, I've seen people with, like, collections of droids. They, like, literally have 15 droids of the Mubo droids. And I'm like, well, wow, y'all be kind of crazy for that many. But hey, you know what? It's fun, right? There's no reason we shouldn't have fun. We've got adult money now. We can do the things we want to do. So, but yeah, no, I honestly, I think, you know, Mo is kind of just the adventure that will keep going with me on and on and on. So I really don't see it for stopping anytime in the future. But like I said, my only problem is spare time, really. If I win $1 million, I'll just be doing Mo videos full time, which would be great. Yeah, no, it'll be great. I think, and here's my theory too, because you know I've shown some other videos where I have different scales of Mo. I have like a tiny 3 3/4 inch that I painted. I have a Bandai kit, you know, that's about 4 inches tall that I painted up to look like Mo. Yeah, spare time. What's the? Yeah, no kidding, right? Well, I have 5 days worth of it now. And of course I got this Mo, and then I want to do, you know, 1-to-1 Mo. I think when the 1-to-1 Mo gets going, for video wise, Mo is just going to realize that, hey, sometimes a bigger or smaller body is advantageous. So like all of Mo's memory's personality will just be in the chip. So for the video, I could take his chip out, put it inside the 1-to-1, and it's just same Mo, different body. So I'm actually going to duplicate, for the big Mo, I'm actually going to duplicate the sounds that are on this purple scoundrel chip. And I'll put it inside the big Mo. So it'll be the same sounds, everything like that. So you have to. You have to have the same sounds. So I'm kind of excited. I mean, you know, it'll be fun to have a really big one. But yeah, storage is just the problem right now. There's no room to build it, unfortunately, where I'm at. But you guys said somebody, I can't think if it was you, Honda, Mashgal, or also known as Porgs Always on Instagram. It's quiet where I'm at? Yes, it is. Honestly, right now here, we'll give kind of a little tour here. Like I said, I'm in New England, what we call multi-family homes. You know, so you have buildings like this, and actually right up there, that's where I used to live. And then I moved next door. But in New England, these are multifamily homes. These are also called mill housing. Basically, the town that I live in, it's a small town. And it was okay. Same Mo, bigger size. But the town basically exists because of the mill that was built, you know, 200 years ago or whatever it was, and the town grew up around it. And if you got a job at the mill, you had the option of staying in the mill-owned housing. You had reduced rate because you're not paying rent, but as long as you had the job, you had a place to live. So basically, that's what all of this is. And of course, over the years, mills shut down and they get converted into different things. The mill owners sell the property. So, but basically, these are all apartments now. So that's where I live. I live in old mill housing. And I swear the apartment I'm in right now, it's very old New England layout. There's no hallways. So it's really weird. If you want to get to the right here, this room, this is the office slash spare bedroom. If you want to go from the office to the kitchen, which is on the further side, you have to go through the office, through the master bedroom, through the living room, and into the kitchen. There's like no hallways. It's really kind of weird, but it's very old New England. But yeah, no, it's quiet. It's one of the things I like when I moved out here. I moved out here about 22 years ago. Yeah, I pretty much always lived in those small towns out here, and it's just where I happen to be, where people were at the time where I moved out. And I've been in this town for a little over 9 years now. So, cozy, yeah, it can be. Honestly, I mean, like literally, I live on. Let me see if I can flip around here. Yeah, right there. That's Main Street going out the driveway. And if you go that way down Main Street, it's basically it's literally the quintessential small American town. It's like 3 blocks long. We have a convenience store slash gas station. We have like 2 pizza places, 1 slightly nicer restaurant that's kind of Applebee-ish. Yeah, there's the post office like literally here. Wait a minute. Let me see if I can do this. See if I can. Because like I said, I've never done these lives before. Can you flip the camera? I don't know. Yes, more. Maybe not. Anyway, so we'll just do it this way. Mode. Okay, so that building right there, those are apartments up there. 2-floor apartments. What you can't see below, yeah, down here, those are on top of that building, which those are businesses. There's a dentist office in there. Church, right there. You can see the church's steeple. On the other side of the steeple, post office. Now you would think, yes, here in town we do have Westminster chimes. It is very quiet. Comparatively, yes, very quiet. We have Westminster chimes that go off, so every 15 minutes, it gets a little bit longer, a little bit longer, a little bit longer, top of the hour, ding, 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 ding. But yeah, it's funny because the church doesn't actually do the chimes, the post office does. So it's like, first time I realized that, it was like, hey. Yeah, so, yeah, but the post office literally is 3 buildings away from me. So, like, whenever I have to go get mail, we don't have mailboxes here on the buildings. So, yeah, I have to walk to the post office to get my mail, which it's not bad, honestly. My bank's here, right on Main Street, just a block away. It's like everything here. It's one of the reasons when I moved to this site, when I was living at the building over there, it's one of the things I really liked. I thought, oh, it's actually really quiet. And I came here like one time at like 10 o'clock at night, and I just parked here and sat for like half an hour. I'm like, wow, for a Main Street, it's really super quiet. So it's one of the things that kind of made me like this town, honestly. Technically a city, but honestly, it's a small town. It really is. And it's nice. There's a lot of forest out here. There's walking paths and trails and stuff like that. A lot of lakes around here. It's just New England. There's a lot of lakes. The chimes, yes. This is funny too, because after college, I went to college for broadcasting, TV and radio. And I wanted to do radio, but it was like a joint degree. And the first radio station I worked at was in very southern Indiana. And I'm not kidding when I talk about very southern Indiana's border is a river. and I lived 3 blocks from the river. When it flooded, I was 2 blocks from the river, and no, I'm not kidding. um, I lived literally across the street from the local church in a very small town of 800 people. Somebody wants me to go live with you. Oh, you know what? I'm going to decline that for right now. I'm just in the middle of something, middle of the talking. Because I'm actually going to get going soon because I want to go get some food too. But yeah, literally across the street was the Chimes, and it's the first time I ever lived anywhere close to Westminster Chimes, so it was kind of funny. But yeah, the chimes go off you get used to them and you blank them out every now and then, but like when it gets to be like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, top of the hour, yeah. It's like, boom, 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 and then it's just, you know, it is what it is. I don't mind it. I really don't. It's funny when like family comes to visit, they're like, doesn't that bother you? No, not really. So, but yeah, no, it's actually, it's pretty nice. It's quiet here. I can't complain. I really can't. So, I'm trying to think if there's anything else anybody wants to know. I'm relatively an open book, honestly. So, let's see, Torres 5. How you doing? Nice to meet you. I know, you like jumped on this like, what's this? You don't hear anything. It's awesome. Yeah, I know these earbuds actually do pick up sound pretty well. Because I've had people say, yike, it's extremely loud when I walk by some things. But yeah, you don't hear anything besides my voice, really, do you? Not even like wind or anything, probably, huh? No sirens, nothing. Yeah, we do get some sirens occasionally. It's Main Street, you're going to, you know. Um, but it's funny too, the neighbor's dog, I swear he's a little bit part hound dog because like every time the sirens go off, you hear him going, oh. So it's funny. Oh, here go the chimes. Can tell me if you hear the chimes. Okay, that was quarter of, so I had 3 sets of chimes there. So every time I was ticking off, it was a chime going. So I didn't know if you could hear them with these headphones or not. But it's interesting that you can't hear a lot of stuff. We live near a hospital, and we hear you're in a hospital that's big enough for helicopters. Lifelines, yeah. Getting back to like the TV thing, actually, too. Oh, is he? Okay. No worries. No worries. Go for it, man. Neighbor's got a motorcycle over here. He's going to start it up. So let me know if you hear that too. Oh, you did hear the chimes. Okay, cool. Oh, yeah. But yeah, I worked in radio for a few stations, and then I worked in TV news actually for about 20 years. So yeah, I've seen my fair share of lifelike copters. Um, yeah, I've seen some scary stuff in the news. I've literally seen just about nearly everything. Hear the motorcycle? He's got it just idling. It's just rumbling. So it's a nice looking one too. It's like all glossy black. He's got that sucker polished up nice. Got some nice little saddlebags on the side. That's a nice looking one. Cool. But yeah, all in all, honestly, it's not really bad here. The only thing I think that's kind of bad about, especially this mill housing, is that it's old construction, and they weren't really worried about insulation. Not so much for weather. You can hear neighbors through your walls like they're standing next to you sometimes, and it's just, God forbid neighbors have like, an argument. It's like, yeah. So that's the only really bad thing I think about this, where I'm at. It's just, it's old construction. You can't get around it. It is what it is, and, Lord knows the landlords aren't going to insulate everything, so. But, yeah, but let's see. TV news, yeah, that was some crazy times. So, let's see, who just joined? Sorry, I'm poking down the glasses here to look now. Dalton. Oh, Dalton, hey! How's it going, bud? Thanks for the likes, man. What's up, buddy? Oh, I haven't chatted with you in a while, man. Everything's going good? You all right? Everything's going good? So, hopefully so. But, yeah, no, it's like my first time live, so I thought I'd sit here, of course. Yeah, recovering well enough, honestly. I slept kind of crappy last night, but, it's like I got my giant old bubble keg full of water and probiotic fruit drink in here, so yeah, no, honestly, recovering pretty well. I mean, the worst part of it was I was just really tired and just had some muscle fatigue, but today I woke up kind of bad because, like I said, just slept terrible because I was in a different bed. Um, but muscle fatigue's basically gone. This arm still hurts a little bit back there in the tricep. So, but yeah, no, doing okay. Doing okay, man. I was out here actually, see, Nathan sent me that 3D printed foot for Mo because he broke his other one. So I was out here putting some putty on it, and I got my sander, so I was going to sand it down, shoot some video. I got my old phone out here that I shoot video on. So I was just shooting a little bit, and got Mo out here too. So yeah, no, I was just kind of basically talking about whatever. Yeah, you know what? It gave me a little bit of a heart attack when I was shooting that video. The video that I did where you see me go, wait a minute, Mo, you sound a little different. I actually recreated that because I didn't actually notice that he broke his wheel for probably a good 20 yards. I really didn't. Because, I maneuvered him around that speed bump. And then I'm just like sitting there like I got my thumb pressed on his forward control and we're just going. And I'm just walking and I'm just enjoying because where we were, it was a 3-season trailer park resort kind of thing. People buy these and then they just hang out for a while. And, they hang out for the summer and then they close for the winter and then, the owners of the trailer park. But yeah, but the trailer park, it's all on this giant loop, this giant oval. And I really didn't notice that his foot had broken for like a good 20 yards. But I basically said the same things. I'm just like, also I'm just walking and I'm just enjoying. Then it clicked with me like, wait a minute, he sounds a little different. And weirdly, when his wheel broke, he sounded smoother. And I'm like going, wait a minute, why is he quieter? Why is he sounding smoother? And his foot's over in, it sounds weird. It's in the hobby closet. But because when his wheel broke on his original foot, it was basically just towing down. So he was just riding all on the front toe of the foot. And it's like, so it was a smoother ride than that one little caster wheel bobbing up and down on the pavement. But basically I picked him back up and I'm like, crap, where's his wheel? It's because I thought I could replace it, or at least fix it, I mean. And so I went and I ran back to try and find it. I'm like looking. I'm like down on the ground trying to look down and see it. What's your solution for the new wheel or suitable replacement? Yeah, but it was so I found his wheel near the speed bump, and so I kind of recreated that scene but that's basically what happened. It just took me a little longer to pick it up. What's the situation? Okay, Dalton, the deal is that let's see, going the chopper route. Well, actually, here we go. Nathan from Astromix Anonymous. Nathan he contacted me that day when I said, when his wheel broke. And he's like, oh, damn, that's terrible. He's like, I print up these 3D droids of my own design. Let me blow up the foot and I'll send you one. I'm like, holy crap, that's amazing. Thank you. And he's like, yeah. And check it out. He said, I think I even have a spare Omni wheel laying around. He's like, I'll put an Omni wheel in there for you too. So these are amazing in that, of course, not only does it roll like this, but each one of these is like a little barrel. so it rolls sideways. So he just rolls. Yes, it is. It's freaking sweet. It's amazing. It really, really is. Um, so yeah. So basically, Nathan printed me a foot in the. He started printing in the morning. It was done by the evening, and he had it in the mail for me the next day. It was amazing. It really, really was. So basically, Mo's foot. See, it's got the two holes there. It just slides in, and then I can't put them in because like I got some putty in here. So that's what this red is. The red is Bondo spot glazing putty. So of course, as with the bane of the existence of any 3D printing, you have printer lines, and I wanted to get it smooth. But yeah, those slide in to the side to hold the wheel and to hold the axle in. So, but yeah, it's I've already tried him out with it on several things. Like you saw the video with Morris Gump. So, yeah, I blame my 3D printing buddies for that one. That was, but yeah, but so this is great. But yeah, so I've spread the putty all around it. Got my sander, so I've already sanded down a little bit of the backside. So I was out here shooting a little bit of video, and I decided to go live. So I thought, yeah, so just talk with people, see what I can do. The ankle joint on here actually did move on his replacement foot. But what I found is that because the original foot had a lock, you know, because you locked it into place for whether Mo was standing up or he was tilted back. But what I found is that when he was rolling forward, the weight of Mo and the pressure forward, it would always push the toe down and it would scrape. So I thought, yeah, that's not really going to work. So what I actually found out, I just tried this out, and it's nice because like it's like, you see, it's like it's got grooves on there, so it's keyed and it actually fits in really, really solidly. So, but what I found was that when he's standing up, if I take the foot and I tilted it forward so that the toe just starts touching the ground, you know, in line with the wheels, and I leave it there, and then when I tilt and that wheel's in the same position, or that foot's in the same position, it's basically perfectly level, right where it should be, almost as if you had that extra clip back like with the original foot. It does angle up very, very slightly, but actually I kind of like that, because then it kind of like helps, you know, him get over some little bumps that may actually then would have originally caught on the edge, front edge of the foot. And actually, when I was shooting that Morris Gump video, it was funny. He was rolling around, and there was like a good sized piece of gravel, and this foot just like kicked it right out of the way. So, yeah, that Omni wheel is amazing. I love that thing. It's beautiful. It really, really is. So, props to Nathan. Nathan's on TikTok too. I can't remember what his name is on here. Let's see. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm really happy that Mo's got more of an AA embedded. Yeah, I tell you, Astromix Anonymous, man, that's been an amazing little thing happening. And for those of you who are sitting here, for all three of you, Astromix Anonymous Facebook group, all about the droids. Yes, nominally we do love the Astromech, but we love all the droids, so it's okay. But we've actually had a lot of fun stuff, and we've actually done some nice things. We'll have contests. We put the winners on trading cards. We've had charity events, art auctions. You know, one time this was amazing where we did, it was all within our members, and it all happened within the span of an hour. It was amazing. Somebody had a disabled child, and they got a hilt from Disney, but they never ended up getting a blade for whatever reason, I don't know. But they wanted a blade, but you know, they wanted a red kyber crystal with it. So within an hour of that original post going up, somebody had said, "Hey, yes, I live at Disney. I live near Disney. Let me contact you." Boom. Yes, I'm going to Disney actually later today because they have, like, you know, a pass. They were able to go to Disney, grab a blade, package it up and send it to them. But the thing is that they were actually, the recipients were actually overseas from America. So, and it was able to get to them within 2 weeks, and it's phenomenal. I mean, and I'm exceptionally proud of the group. I mean, Astromex Anonymous has some amazing people. So it makes me really, really happy that I'm a part of that group. I'm happy to admin that group. It's been truly a wonderful thing. I've spent a lot of time working on that group, as well as Pete Jones is an admin in that group. Yeah, I know, right? It's amazing. Some of the things that we've done. Like I said, we've done art auctions for charity. A lot of things that we do, we'll donate to the Peter Mayhew Foundation. We'll also do it to the JDRF, the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. We actually had a member a few years ago who passed away from diabetes, and he had a fairly substantial collection. And so after close friends and family grabbed a few pieces for themselves, I believe his cousin contacted us, and she said, hey, he's got a lot of droids here. Do you guys want to distribute them among groups somehow? And I think it was just me and Pete, and I think we had one other admin. I'm trying to think of who was at the time. We've got like 4 admins now. But anyways, we decided actually to auction them all off. So she sent Pete, the entire collection, and he took photos, put them up, and it was just an auction. So in the comments, he would just bid, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10, and so we raised an absurd amount of money for the JDRF, Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. So that alone is great. The member, he liked to custom droids, so I bid on a few droids myself, and so I picked up. I've got a couple in my display in the living room. Very proud to have them there. They're great. So yeah, no, it's been a good group. I've really enjoyed being a part of it and watching it grow. The group's 4 years old now, I believe. Yeah, getting close to 5. Can you hear the bells going? Top of the hour. Here goes the big gong. Come on. There it is. 1 o'clock. Yeah, it's one of the highlights of our moments. We took a terrible situation and turned it into something really good, and yeah, it was really, really nice. Honestly, it really was. So, but yeah, so there's my plug for my Facebook group, or our Facebook group, Astromex Anonymous. So, and yes, for the other two, we have BB7. She's our mascot. So, and mascot chosen via a contest. We like having lots of contests. We actually just wrapped up 2 photography contests there, and those winners will be turned into trading cards, and we'll just distribute the trading cards among the members for free because we can. Right now, we're also doing a chimes. You heard them. Right, we have what we call the junk drawer contest going, and so basically everybody's got like that junk drawer in your kitchen. You got spare stuff laying around, half trash, whatever. Build a droid and post it in the comments of the contest, and then we'll pick a winner of the junk droid contest. I think this is our 3rd junk droid contest. So that's been going on right now. Let's see. I'll have to have another stop motion ready for the next one, dude. Right? Yeah. No. It's always fun to look at the entries for, especially like the junk drawer contest. It's amazing. It really is. The creativity that comes up too, and it's funny because Pete sometimes he'll make a 5-minute droid, so he'll set a timer and he'll literally run around the house, find things for like 2 minutes, and then put them together for 3 minutes, take a picture. He's like, okay, see, look, I did it in 5 minutes. You can too. It's pretty funny. Neighbors. yeah, so good stuff, man. I'm trying to think of any more stuff with. No, let's see. You got to be off to work. All right, dude. Hey, enjoy. Work hard or don't hardly work. Take your pick. But hey, I'm glad you stopped in for a moment, dude. Really am. So enjoy. Be safe getting to work. Be safe getting home. Okay. But yeah, I think what time is it here? So it's just 1 o'clock now. So actually, it's been kind of fun. I've kind of enjoyed this. Really, I have. But yeah, no, I live in a tiny town and I have my droid, and really, I want to keep doing adventures. It's fun. It really, because for me, like I said, I did TV news for. I got let's see, who's this? Dark and Hawk. This was funny. It was fun, huh? Welcome, Dark and Hawk. How you doing? Basically, this is my first time live, and this is just me talking about random stuff. You want to know about Mo, who is the center of all my videos, more or less? Just ask away. I'm a pretty open book. But yeah, the videos, one of the reasons I also do the videos, I mean, honestly, I probably would have had just fun with Mo, period, by myself, and it just would have been for me. But I've always had a camera in my hands. Always had a camera in my hands. Ever since I was little, had old 110 cameras, and I've graduated up now to, Nikons. I have a few Nikons. And it's amazing, honestly, what you can do with cell phones nowadays. So never besmirch the equipment you have. If you know your equipment, you can make a good photo. You really can. And I say you make a photo. You don't take a photo, you make one. Because it takes a lot to make one. Yeah, I got out of TV news about 5 or 6 years ago. And a lot of me misses shooting video. Honestly, editing, making a story. Editing is I love shooting pictures, of course, don't get me wrong. But editing is one of the most fun things for me because that's really where all that magic ties together. I mean, the Morris Gump video that I just put up, if the editing wasn't as on spot with that, if that wasn't as perfect with the editing, it wouldn't have been nearly as entertaining of a video. It really wouldn't. So, the editing is primo. I love doing the editing. So I have several editing programs. I have an editing. All those videos that you see, I edit all those. Somebody else. Like a bantha. There's somebody on TikTok named Like a bantha. Like a bantha. But yeah, all those videos, actually, I edit. Let me see if I can bring this up. This is the phone. Did you? Yeah. That fell together so beautifully. Morris Gump fell together so beautifully. It was amazing how well that went together. I found, thank God for screen recordings, because then you can record any kind of audio or video or what have you. Yeah, it's just that fell together so beautifully. Basically, I went and I recorded that whole Run Forrest Run scene and everything like that with Forrest, talking about, I remember my first pair of shoes. I recorded that whole thing because on YouTube, there's a clip of it. So I recorded that whole thing, edited it down to just the bits that I wanted. And then I just went out and I had some things in mind to shoot of how I wanted it to start. And like the coming through the leaves down to the park bench and stuff, I bought a gimbal. Basically a handheld Steadicam, so that whatever you do with however you move your hand, the phone stays steady. So I used that gimbal for the first time on that shoot, and I basically, for him rolling around on the pavement, the only things I really had planned were the park bench shots, really. But for him rolling around the pavement, I was shooting him for like rolling around on the pavement for like 20 minutes. I have so much footage of him just rolling around on the pavement. But yeah, I have a couple editing programs. So, and here, if you can see right there, InShot, that's actually that's the primary video. Yeah, see, it's really hard to see. Yeah, you can't really see that, can you? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, here we go. Maybe not. Yeah, see, there's the Morris Gump. So, yeah, let's see, there's the original copy of Morris Gump. So, But I love it because this video, the editing system, it's amazing. Because like what I started with in TV was like a small closet of equipment, and now everything that I ever needed, you know, I work with 17-pound cameras, 15-pound tripods, cables, editing machines. I needed 2 editing machines that were like this big. I mean, huge, a ton of equipment. But like everything now is this, and it's really just outstandingly amazing what you can do. So yeah, editing, it really is. It's really kind of fun. If you shoot enough video, you can almost make anything work. So yeah, I shot like 20 minutes for him just rolling around, and I did that actually at our town green. Our town green is it that way? Yeah, it's that way. There's a little gazebo there, the park benches. You can see that church in the background. But I knew it was a relatively quiet spot, so I went out there and there's the main road that goes by it. There's the green and the gazebo, and then there's like where the church is behind it. That's like a slightly side road. So I just went up on that side road to shoot a lot of that video. So yeah, I'm sure I had a few people staring out their windows going, "What's he doing?" I had one person drive by and just like look down at me like, so it was kind of funny. But yeah, no, I had fun with it, and like I always have his trading cards on me. So like whenever somebody comes up and questions about it, and they seem kind of excited, and they don't just think I'm a weirdo with droids. I always like hand them a trading card because Mo's got his trading cards. But oh, hey, and here's another fun thing too. Actually, I can't remember. You know what, Mashkel, you know this because I think I posted something on Instagram too, but not here on TikTok. I recently learned, and of course I'm still very rudimentary at it, on how to use Tinkercad for 3D printers. My wife is a bit of an artist, and so I had her draw up a logo for Mo, which basically looks like, it's basically the 3 sides of his eye, but then you extend one side further down so it forms the number 4, and and then underneath in the 4 it says "Call me Mo," but it's also got his eye in it. I'll have to post a shot of that actually, but I took the drawing, put it in Tinkercad, and I was able to raise and extend and do Tinkercad-ery things. And I had somebody else, again, just out of stupid generosity, because people are so nice. I'm amazed at, honestly, the generosity sometimes of the internet. So I just asked, I said, I fully intended to pay. I said, hey, is there anybody with a resin printer that could help me out? And yes, I will. That can help me out with this. I think I actually have to check my Instagram. I think I might have posted it on Instagram, or maybe just Facebook. I can't remember. But anyways, but somebody said, hey, I'll print that for you. They said, here, learn Tinkercad. I'll help you learn Tinkercad. Help me learn a program. And I sent him the file, and he printed up like 3 versions of thicknesses for me. So I have this ingot that's about this big of Mo's logo. It's a rectangle. And I'm eventually going to turn those into little giveaways. So yeah, it'll be cool. And the fun part is that also too, I've got these little white chips. These probably saw them on another video that I did with Mo merch coming soon. Little white discs. They're NFC chips. Basically, you scan your phone over it and it sends you a link. So I'm going to embed the NFC chips into the ingots when I cast them, because the resin print is going to be a master. I'm going to make a silicone mold and then be able to make ingots out of the mold, and I'll embed the NFC chips into the mold. So it'll be neat. Yes, resin can be immensely fun. It really can be. But yeah, so those will be, and I'll like paint them. So yeah, it should be a lot of fun. It'll be a fun little giveaway. I had a recent Comic-Con we went to. I had a Mandalorian, and this is what sparked the idea. I had a Mandalorian give me like a little tiny like credit chip with all of his information, his social media information on it. So that kind of what sparked the idea. One of the coolest things I've ever gotten. honestly, from somebody. So it was really cool. Yes, resin is amazing. In the crafting business, we have, my wife and friend and I have, by the way, the crafting business is called Ursula and Olive. Basically, we repurpose things. We go around to yard sales and secondhand stores and we find stuff and we go, how can we geekify that? So basically, right now we're kind of, pandemic. We had, we're doing a lot of games, board games and things like that. We did a lot of D&D online with our group. We have a D&D group. So we were doing D&D remotely. So we just got into a lot of different board games and things like that. So we've kind of, we're doing other things. We've rebranded. So we kind of doing a lot of like game themed stuff. So we're making like coasters and pub signs, game kind of paraphernalia like that. So like we'll go and find a this is from my Uncle Tom. My aunt's in the hospital, so it's kind of a tough battle. I'll have to check that out soon. Mo keychains. That's interesting. You'll have to send me like a picture of something similar. Okay. Yeah, but coasters, yeah. We and you probably do the same thing too. We just use bathroom tiles, put a piece of cork on the back, sticky cork, and we'll cut up comic books. We'll cut up books because Harry Potter books have like a picture at the starting, of every chapter, and we'll just use pre-loved books. They're all used. Okay, cool. Yeah, message me after all this. Okay, I'd love to see it. Um, but yeah, so we'll cut them up, and we just started using. We were using two-part resin, but now we're using UV resin. So it's fun. We'll set up a couple card tables outside. We'll Mod Podge the image onto the coaster, and then we'll spread the resin. And then we'll go and lay them out in the sun so they'll dry. Yeah, so it's the resin's great. It's amazing stuff. It's so much fun. But yeah, coasters actually have been a big seller for us at craft shows and Comic Cons and things like that. And people love the fact that we repurpose stuff. One of our favorite things to do is we'll buy cutting boards, and same great minds thinking alike. We'll buy cutting boards and use cutting boards at we have a secondhand store here called Savers. So we'll go to Savers or Salvation Army or something like that, and we'll print out, and it's just square piece of wood, but Darlene's our whiz, our friend, and so she'll come up with some graphic or something like that, and we'll just Mod Podge it onto the cutting board and put a sawtooth hook on the back, and people love them. They really do. One of our best sellers actually is all of the meals for hobbits. So breakfast, second breakfast, 11sies, lunch, So and so it's great. It's a lot of fun. We have ones that are all of the inns, restaurants, pubs, and things like that from different movies. We'll do the Prancing Pony, the Green Dragon Inn. We've even made up our own stuff, like the Salty Egg Tavern. So we have an inside family joke out here about eggs. So yeah, we made up the Salty Egg Tavern, and that one actually sold too because somebody just thought it was hilarious. So that was great. But yeah, no, so it's cool. Like our whole setup, we have like a tablecloth that looks like wood, so it looks like a wood crate, and we have everything set up, and we have some grid walls that we hang stuff on. So it's a lot of fun. It's so like I was saying, spare time for my only limit is the spare time I have for stuff to do with Mo. A lot of times it's because we're just crafting on the weekends because we have shows coming up. So yeah, we have a show coming up next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend. Yeah, sadly, I think because of me still being infectious till Saturday, I was going to hang out with my daughter. We traditionally do mini golf because there's a really great little family-owned mini golf place out here. It's on a farm. So yeah, you can tour through their barn and you can look at the animals. There's mini golf, there's food, there's ice cream, great stuff. We've been doing that since she was little, but I think I'm going to have to cancel out on the mini golf unfortunately this year because I don't want to get her infected. Um, but totally forgot where I was going with that. Don't you hate that? But oh yeah, crafting. But yeah, so a lot of times it's just I don't have time to do stuff because we're crafting. We have a show this not this weekend, but next weekend. It's actually at a brewery, so it's called a Sip and Shop. So it's kind of fun. There'll be a lot of other crafters there. Then we have like a couple other shows. We're doing Rhode Island Comic Con. We'll actually be selling at Rhode Island Comic Con. That's pretty huge. So we're excited about doing that. We've sold at Rhode Island before, but it's been obviously a few years. So yeah, we're really excited about that. Rhode Island's got some killer guests this year. Really, I'm going to spend so much money on autographs. It's going to be frightening. But anyways, yeah. So yes, my only limitations really are just kind of spare time. So yeah. So for now, I'm just kind of where'd his foot go? Oh. Have you been to Rhode Island Comic Con? Have you really? You're saying it's fun. So oh, you went a couple of years. You did. We were there a few years ago. We weren't vending a couple of years ago. Yes, we weren't vending, but we were there just as con goers because I think their table prices kind of raised a little bit too much for us, or was that Boston? One of the two. I think we just decided not to do it just because. But yeah, no, we were there. All the three of us were there hanging around and doing whatever. So that's probably pretty funny. We may have just walked right by each other. Oh, Norman. Okay. Yeah. 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 They have a lot of good guests this year. I screen capped like all of their guests that I wanted to see, and they have a lot of guests coming up. I'm gonna go so broke with autographs, honestly. Um, what's kind of cool, actually, is it because Boston Comic Con's coming up too. We're just going as attendees at Boston. I can't remember if it's Boston or Rhode Island, but Nathan Fillion. Rhode Island Comic Con is actually in November this year. I don't know exactly when. I think in the middle of the month. But like I say, I can't think if it's Boston or Rhode Island. But Nathan Fillion is going to be there. So we're really excited because we've never met Nathan Fillion before. But one of the things that we used to do when we were crafting, and one of the things that we had was Darlene found these milk jugs, or somebody gave her these milk jugs, and it's just like an old milk bottle, like the milkman delivered, back in the 40s, 50s, whatever. Oh, hey, cool. Hey, if you do, let me know. We'll meet up. If not, like I said, I mean, my mom just moved down to your state too, so I know I'm going to be hitting down there before too long because I want to see where she's at, see what's happening down there. But yeah, these milk jugs, milk bottles. Darlene made a logo for Mudder's Milk from that episode Janestown, and so we kept a couple of them that didn't sell, and we just started having all of the Firefly stars. Please do. We started having all of the Firefly stars sign the milk bottles. So, and Nathan Fillion is one of like three that we don't have signing the milk bottles yet. Nathan Fillion, we sadly don't have Ron Glass Shepherd because he passed away. So unfortunately, we can't get him. But Nathan, and Adam Baldwin. Actually, I think it's just the two, Nathan and Adam Baldwin. Amusing King. Hey, dude, thanks for the likes, man. Appreciate it. Mudder's Milk. Yeah, so when we see Nathan at Rhode Island, we're going to bring one of the Mudder's Milk bottles that we made with all the other stars to sign them. So, let's see, who else here? Bobby X. It's kind of hard to see in the bright sun, so I'm sorry if I'm saying that. Bobby X, thanks for joining, man. just kind of sitting here vegging, talking about whatever, really, showing off a little Mo, telling about his future, things, that I got planned, things I'm going to do. He's got his new foot that I'm working on. So this was actually 3D printed from a friend. So who saw the tragic story of Mo breaking his wheel on his original foot. So he said, let me print you one. So it's kind of cool. It's a little bit of a different design. Because you see it's got like a sharper straight angle here, and the older foots, or the original foots, this is his own foot design. So I think it's kind of cool because it adds to Mo's character. It's original piece, Mo, does he have any siblings? No, he does not. But I kind of want to. Question is, would my wife let me? If I did do it, because it's great, because they just released all this, the chopper droids, the C series. I have in the toy Jedi Starfighter toys for Hasbro. There was the Yoda one, and the Yoda had an orange dome. I took that dome, because you can take them off if you unscrew the toy. You can take the domes off. I have a few of the domes from the Starfighters, and I put it, just for giggles, I put it on a spare chopper body that I had. I took off the chopper head, and the chopper from Disney, you could take them apart like a Build-A-Droid, and I put on that spare head, and I'm like going, well, that actually looks pretty good. So I took out the chopper center wheel, because he's got just that little caster wheel, and I put in a regular, middle foot. So if I did do a sibling for Mo, I would definitely probably make this C1 with an R2 head, and I would paint it up like the Yoda dome from that Jedi Starfighter toy. So, needs more droiding. Mo's got a lot of plans going on. Actually, I was just telling Mashgal this. Mo actually, I contacted a mutual acquaintance on Facebook. Her father has worked in metal all of his life. So, yeah, I know. I think he would be great, actually. I'm trying to figure out what chip would be really, really good. So let's see. Who is this? Nemesis Prime. How you doing, Nemesis Prime? Sorry, I had to look really close. The sun's kind of half blinding me and half whiting out the screen here. Glad you could join us, Nemesis. Thank you. But yeah, I would love to try and figure out which chip to do for him. So actually, in a couple years, we did have a trip for Disney planned in 2020, but the world and pandemic, and so we decided not to go. For me, Nemesis, I'm actually not bad. I'm actually home. I'm not working right now. I actually had COVID. I tested positive for COVID this week, so I've got a 5-day vacation. Right now, I feel pretty good, so I'm not arguing too much. Honestly, I was basically just really tired, had some muscle fatigue, but you know what? I'm not arguing. It's a really nice day outside. It's low 70s out here, and you can see the sun is shining. I mean, I got some beautiful skies going on out here. So I'm just kind of this is the first time I've gone live, so I'm just really tickled to be sitting out here on the porch on a nice day. I'm really not complaining. It's nice and quiet. I live in a small town, so this is killer. It's I got my nice big giant drink of, water and some probiotic fluid, and I'm doing fun. I'm just having some fun here. Musing King, hey bud, how's it going, man? Dang, it's not 96. Is it just like walking through a wall of water with 100%? Is it raining right now? 96? You're living somewhere south, I'm guessing. That's nutty, man. I know it gets humid. I'm in New England, and I know it gets humid here, but wow. I mean, oof. No rain, just, yeah. But I bet you with that kind of humidity, it just feels like rain, doesn't it? Charlotte, North Carolina. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, actually, you're not far away from where I have a parent that lives actually down there. So it's kind of cool, man. Yeah, no, it's I'll have to contact her and see if she's got the same. It was 80 at 3 a.m. Wow. We had a little bit of rain overnight, but it was cool. It was probably 60 degrees. I had the window open and the fan going. So You know what? It can get boily and horribly humid out here too. So I feel for you, man. I really do. I know exactly what that's like. I used to work outside for most of my life, and right now I have a job where I'm inside. So it's a kind of a novel change. So, yeah, working outside in that weather is god awful. So hopefully you're inside in some air conditioning. It was nice, actually. It was really kind of cool. I just had a really light comforter on when I was sleeping. So slept terrible because I was in a different bed because COVID. So had to stay away from the wife. But yeah, but no, it was actually a pretty comfortable day. So I'm not arguing. You're inside, good. AC hopefully is on full blast. So good for you, man. Good, smart man being inside. But hey, any questions either of you want to know, just pop them up. Like I said, I'm pretty much an open book for things to do, what I'm doing. Oh, but anyway, let me get back. You're saying more things for Mo, more droiding. Yes, a friend, Delia, her father worked in metal a lot, and he's retired, but he still likes to tinker. They have a few droids, full blast. Smart man. Smart man. Uh, but he's tinkered and he's like added onto his droid so crazy. And I said, hey, would your dad be interested in making something for Mo? And she was like, yeah, let me ask him. Because I helped her paint one of her droids, Echo. She was having a really tough time painting with it. And I've built model kits since I was like 7. So I have a lot of experience in it. And here's another little tip. Nashko, you're still here. Good. That same mom that lives by you, um, she actually, and here's long way around the barn. Basically, I'm adopted, found the birth family, everything's awesome. That particular mom lives down by you, Mashgal. Um, but when I found her, she was actually the public contact for a toy company. That one of their things was, yeah, I know it's been great. We met like 25 years ago. It's beautiful. The families have merged beautifully. Really been amazing. And I have a younger half brother too, so that's awesome. And we look very much alike. It's really really creepy. Um, but yeah, so one of the toy companies. If any of you guys have like been, go next time you're in like Walmart or something, go into the toy aisle and look for the like the Matchbox Hot Wheel size cars, but they're called Johnny Lightning. Playing Mantis makes Johnny Lightning. Now it's actually a company called Round Two. But yeah, she worked for Playing Mantis, which did Johnny Lightning. But one of their companies was called Polar Lights, and Polar Lights was model kits. So yeah, when we met, I got like this giant ass box of model kits in the middle. She's like, "Here's the catalog. Choose what you want." But yeah, I've built models for a very long time, so I helped Delia out with her Echo, her droid. And she's like, yeah, sure, let me check and see. And like, lo and behold, her dad's like, yeah, of course, I'd love to make something extra. So yeah, Mo actually, let me put his foot down here. Mo actually, because all the droids have like the little accessory ports where you can buy like extra toolkits and stuff. Mo's gonna have a pair of arms like Chopper. So he's got custom made aluminum and brass arms that are jointed. There's a screw at the shoulder that'll go into the holes. The elbow is jointed, the wrist is jointed, and the pincers are spring loaded. So he'll be able to hold things. So it'll be amazing for what he can do. And I can, like I was saying earlier, I can just picture Mo like going like on his hands on his hips going, mm-hmm. Right, because I really picture Mo kind of having I've been around a long time, I've seen it all, I'm just kind of done with it attitude. So, like there was, Bolt the Droid was on here a little bit ago, and I did that kind of like duet video with him about how he tried to prank Mo, is your refrigerator running, and Mo's like, yeah, no, not since I put the restraining bolt on it. Whatever, nice try, bye. So, yeah, that's kind of how I picture Mo's attitude a little bit. Yes, Mo's got, not so much of an attitude, he's just kind of like not easily impressed. I think it would be kind of like a really good definition. He's just not easily impressed with a whole lot of things because he's seen a lot. So, yeah, no, this is, it's actually, I've got like a whole like backstory with Mo. You know, he's and I'm trying to think if I've said this before too on TikTok or not. Look for him on Instagram too, because I'll post some things on Instagram that I won't post here, vice versa. But a lot of things are duplicated. And I actually did a short story, and and it's only like 2 pages long, and I screen capped the pages and I posted them on Instagram, so you can go and read the short story with Mo. It mostly deals with Mo's Ithorian, a hammerhead. His captain's name is Amal Kai, and I did some research. Amal is actually a kind of a common Ithorian name, so I kind of like that. But it mostly deals with Amal and waiting for Mo to be repaired after some stormtroopers basically beat him up. So I was actually kind of proud with it. I just had the story rolling around in my head, and it's just, one of those things when I'm doing things that are not all that thought intensive. I have several other things rolling around in my head at any given time. So so I came up with that story, and I finally just typed it out one night, and it actually came out pretty good. I'm kind of happy with it. So you too what? I missed. Was I saying something? Me too what, Mashgal? So Mo is he's basically Mo. My story is he's basically the droid story. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I like how it came out. Mo is basically the head mechanic and of Amal's cargo ship. The cargo ship is a design that I kind of played with from some production sketches from Solo, Star Wars story. So I kind of took something that they had and modified it to carry cargo pods. So it's kind of a cross between, do you remember in the Clone Wars animated movie that came out before the series, and they also showed it in the series, there was the Twilight Anakin ship. It was like an old beat up cargo ship. It had the big one long wing out the side. I love asymmetrical. So it kind of looks like the Twilight, but a little bit like this pre-production sketch, and then the wing actually just holds like 3 giant cargo pods. So Mo is basically the chief mechanic because Amal really just doesn't know how the ship works. Like most of us with a car, we can get in, we can drive it, but we wouldn't know how to fix it if, to save our life. So that's where Mo comes in. So he kind of helps out a lot. He goes on errands and things like that. And I've got there's a whole backstory thing. And as far as me, I have a character for me in Mo's story. Is that they were on Batuu, and Mo was carrying, he was carrying a hover cart behind him that was overloaded with parts and things like that to bring back to the ship, and things were spilling off, and Mo was just stopping, crap, what do I do? And my character, I've named him Corbin, and he was just kind of sitting there. Corbin's kind of a scavenger, scrapper, and no real affiliations with anybody, no home. And he saw Mo was having trouble, and he always liked droids anyways, and droids were a favorite of him, and he knows how to fix them well. And so he helped Mo pile things back on, and then just started talking with Mo as they were walking along. Yeah, Corbin actually with a K, Korbin. So I thought it'd be a little bit different. I'm still kind of working on the last name. I have an idea for a name, but I don't know if I like it or not. But it's another KK name. It's the same sounding at the beginning of the last name. I kind of like it. It's like that whole Peter Parker kind of a thing, superhero. I got a couple other people joining. Hey guys, how you doing? We're just hanging out, chatting, talking about Mo. I'm talking a little bit about his backstory now. Mo is he's basically the chief mechanic on a cargo ship with a Ithorian hammerhead captain. Mo knows how the ship works, and the captain really doesn't. Just kind of like we get in a car. We couldn't fix it if we knew how. So, I got a couple other people joining. Okay. So, my character, Corbin, kind of, just help Mo pile stuff back on his cart, which is how he kind of met, and they just were talking and finally got up to say hello. You can't be sure. How you doing? Hello, Churchill. How you doing? Nice to see you guys. So let's see. Ooh, I'm not doing too bad, actually. I was saying this earlier. I kind of live in a small town. It's kind of nice. Let's see. You can't be sure. How you doing? It's nice temps here. It's low 70s. Unfortunately, I'm home from work this week because I got COVID. So I'm just kind of hanging around on a 5-day paid vacation. So I'm not really arguing too much. Yeah, trying to, man. I'm just hanging out, and I'm working on Mo's new foot. So he broke his other foot on another video I was shooting. We were running a 5K. So, I'm just sitting out here hanging out, working on his foot. Got the sander going. So, yeah, we're just having fun and chatting and talking. And, hey, we're having a good time. Hope you're having a good day, too. It's what it's all about, just relaxing. Wherever I live I live in New England. Massachusetts, actually. So, I'm in a tiny town. I actually grew up in Indiana, and I moved out here about 22 years ago. About 22, 23, something like that. So, just in a tiny town. Literally my main street is right there. I live on Main Street, and the town center is like 3 blocks long. Post office, church, 2 pizza places, a nicer restaurant, gas station / convenience store. That's about it, really. So, so no, it's actually not bad. If you stick around long enough and my battery lasts long enough, you'll probably hear the church bells go off. I have Westminster chimes over here, so I'm literally like 3 buildings away from the church. But actually, it's funny, the church doesn't actually do the Westminster chimes. The post office next door actually does the church chimes. Don't ask me why, I really don't know. So, but anyways, I'm just hanging out. We're chatting about Mo and, the mods that I did to him from stock droid. I didn't show this too. One of the other things that I did was, obviously, you buy the bodies, you buy the legs, the heads separately, what have you, when they're on the conveyor belt. But see, I did like all this painting inside. You almost never see it, because I leave his head on. But I painted all this inside, dirtied it all up. So it's just kind of like one of those extra little fun things. I mean, literally, almost you never see it, but for me, it just adds to him. And also, too, on the sides here. Oh, well, crap. Yeah, the side panels do come off. Shoot, I just broke his panel. Oh no, look at that! It like the tab busted. They're hard to get out normally, anyways. New York City. Yeah, not if you saw the main street. No, I live in here. Let me show you the building next door. This is this is multifamily home, what they call mill housing. If you worked at the mill long time ago, back 200 years ago when they built the mill and the town formed around it, you had the option to live in one of these multifamily homes. As long as you worked at the mill, you had a place to live. Of course, nowadays, they're all just apartments now because mills have closed down and what have you. But, yeah, I'm going to have to figure that out. The fun part is about, like I said, because I've built model kits my entire life. Literally for 45 plus years now. Yeah, that's about right. Started when I was just a wee boy. I do have a lot of things that are really good with plastic. So, and I have this one wonderful stuff, Ambroid Pro Weld, and it's actually not even so much a glue, is that what it actually does when you put it on the plastic, it creates a chemical reaction, heats up the plastic, so when you push 2 plastic pieces together, it actually melts them back together. So, yes, Mo will be fine, no worries. And like I said, it's just his side panel, so it's all good. But see, there's all of this, that was just blue molded detail, part of the leg. But all this is just Sharpie. Actually, I bought a metallic Sharpie kit and just did that. Just because I thought it'd be a little extra fun, Because actually right here, there's it's kind of hard to see. It's that little black piece. That's actually an extra clip because you can buy like blasters and you can buy rockets for the side of them. So the remote actually has a trigger that you can trigger the side panel, whatever you have attached on there. So the blasters will fire or the rockets will go. They'll light up and make sounds. So yeah, I'll have to leave that off. I'll have to get some of that pro weld out before I stick that back on again. It's still attached a little bit, so that's good news. It'll be a little more solid than if it completely broke off. Let's see, anything else? Yeah, like inside of his arms, inside the little bays there, where the silver is. All of that was just plain straight plastic. Metallic Sharpies. Had a little fun with them. So, blast. You know what? I had thought about getting some of the accessories, for for the sides for him. And at the time when I had Mo built, I had a smuggler actually get them for me. I have a friend who lives down by Disney. He goes quite frequently. He has like a pass, a yearly pass. And so he'll get stuff for us. And I thought about like blasters or the rockets or things like that. And at the time I thought, okay, Mo already, a droid cost at the time was $100, like $105 with tax. And then to have him packed up and shipped to me was actually about another $45. So he's like $150 right off the bat. And I thought, okay, those blasters and the rockets, those were actually like another $30. And I just didn't really I didn't quite have that much money to spend. Mo was actually purchased with some birthday money. So I thought, okay, it's really not. Honestly, the price honestly isn't bad. I mean, essentially, yes, he's a remote controlled toy. That's really what he is. He's a remote controlled toy. Back in the day, I had an R2D2, and I think it's actually on my Instagram. If you still look up R4M0 Call Me Mo on Instagram, I think there's even a picture from this past Christmas or 2 Christmases ago where I have my original like 1980 or 79, 80 remote controlled R2D2 that came out back from Kenner in the day. And it was, it's kind of funny to see the size difference because I think he's only like this tall compared to Mo. But yeah, essentially he's just a remote controlled toy. It's just really, it's what we put into it. It's our love of Star Wars and our love of story making and things like that makes different characters, You do. I'm amazed. I tried to put batteries in that R2 and sadly he didn't work. So I'm kind of bummed about that. But it's really, it's the stories of really what you do. Cause like when I had him built, I wanted the R4 head because I just love these heads because I think they're very underused in the Star Wars community. And I loved it in, episode 4 of Kenobi, when he's on the other planet, he's in the city and he's looking around for Leia. There's an R4 that rolls by kind of amongst the crowd. So I was really happy to see that there was an R4 there. Kenner was amazing. That company, they did so much. Quick fact, I don't know if you guys knew this too. Netflix, there's a show called The Toys That Made Us. And their first episode of season 1 is about Star Wars. And it's all about toys and how they were influential, back, when you were a kid and all these great old toys. So they have one like on Star Wars, on Masters of the Universe, My Little Pony, Barbie, a lot of them. But when they got this license to make the toys, and they're like, back then everything was a 12-inch doll. It was all Barbie sized. And they're like, no, make them smaller. We want kids to be able to take these with them, put them in their pocket. Well, how big do we make them? And like the CEO of Kenner or something, he goes, I don't know, make them that big. And somebody said, hold on a minute, took out his ruler and went, okay, 3.75 inches. That's why all those original Kenner vintage figures, minus maybe Chewie because he's a little taller and R2 and because he's obviously a little smaller, but why all those figures are like a standard 3.75 inches. That's why. Yeah. But yeah, watch that whole thing. Watch that whole episode on Netflix. The Toys That Made Us, season 1, episode 1. Yeah, it's all about Star Wars. It's amazing. They have interviews with the people who worked at Kenner and everything. So yeah, just great memories back then. But yeah, when I got Mo, yeah, it's like I wanted the R4 head, um, and I decided the blue body worked best with the orange because I wanted the orange and not the purple one because I like orange a little better. So, but yeah, I really didn't know kind of who Mo would be. You know, I didn't really know who he would be. So, ooh, my battery's running low. I started with like an 80% battery. I'm down to 13%. We'll still talk for a bit. But yeah, I didn't really know who Mo would be. You know, I thought I'd just shoot some pictures, have some fun with him. I just made the Instagram for him at first. And I thought, yeah, I'll just have some fun and just post some pictures of him standing in places, you know, when I take him on trips, this or that. And I started on using TikTok because I thought, oh, it looks like it has an easy editing application. So I'll just edit on TikTok, download the video, and then post it on Instagram. And then I realized, oh, well, yeah, I can't get rid of that TikTok logo because, you know, it has the TikTok logo that floats around. And so then I started looking into other editing programs. And like I showed you, this is my old phone, and I primarily shoot Mo and his videos on this phone. But I found a program called InShot, and it's capacity-wise, it's great for what it can do. So let's see, who else just joined? Cindy. How you doing, Cindy? Hopefully you followed some wonderful Mo adventures. I highly recommend watching Morist Gump. Morist Gump? It's one I just put up. I have it pinned to the top. That one came together beautifully. But the editing on that, yeah, with the InShot, with that program, it's wonderful. It just came together beautifully. But yeah, but I didn't really know who Mo was going to be when I got him. And honestly, he's kind of evolved, really. Because, you know, just little bits come to me here and there, and like little instances, and sometimes it's even like the way he's, you know, like I have his escape pod, his backpack that I carry him in, and sometimes it's even just the way he's sitting outside of his escape pod, and I'll just like look over, and maybe he's just got his head turned a certain way, and it makes me think he's got like something to say or some kind of an attitude, or you know, something will happen on TV, or you know, like, and I'm like, God, can you believe that? And I'll look over at Mo, and I'll be like, and I'll see him like, so yeah, no, his personality is not something that was pre-planned. It was something that just evolved, for sure. He like any good story, like any good Star Wars story, it's ongoing, it's evolving. And I think that's part of his fun, is that he just keeps going and he keeps evolving, and he's got these ideas, you know, or I got these ideas for him that just, they take time to percolate and sit in the brain, and I'll remember things and I'll forget things, and then I'll remember them again, and they'll just keep going and going and going. And honestly, he's just been so much fun to have. I mean, he's $100 remote control toy, but you know, it's like anything in the world. It could be a $2 toy, a $100 toy, a $5,000 toy. It's what you make it. You know, it's how you have fun with it. It's how you use it, really. It kind of goes for anything in life. It is what you make of it, you know. So I always, you know, Lord knows, being a Gen Xer, I'm definitely, you know, can be a little bit of a pessimistic and a little bit of a, yeah, whatever, you know, kind of a thing. But honestly, try to always have fun. And Mo and shooting videos and editing videos is just one of the ways that I amuse myself and I have fun. And people may look at me like I'm weird, like when I was shooting that Morris Gump video. Someone was driving by and just went, but I didn't care. So what? They thought I was weird. Big deal. It's not their life, it's mine. I'm having fun with it. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm enjoying it. I'm making people smile. Look at this. I've met so many people. TikTok, Instagram, you know. uh, on my Facebook page, Astromechs Anonymous, that I help admin. I have so many people that have been amazing. The Discord 3D printing droid group that I'm a part of. It's all been so amazing. Honestly, I've met so many generous people. That foot, generous people. This was printed to me in a day and sent to me by someone that I know because we're friends. I've never met the man before. I've never heard him speak before. Nathan's an amazing guy because he's like, hey, I can help you with that. Just out of the blue, he contacted me. So, I can't argue. It's Star Wars is that beautiful thing. It's bringing a lot of people together, and so it still boggles me a little bit while some people say, oh, that hating on things or whatever like that. It's like, you know what? If you don't like it, go away. Don't watch that. You're not liking how it's turning out? Leave it. I'm not a giant fan of a particular genre of movie. You don't see me going to the movie and then crapping about it. Why? I mean, that's okay. I don't care. You don't see, I'm not watching particular shows and then crapping about it on, those shows' web pages. Why? Life's too short. Way too short. Way too short. So, let's enjoy things. Let's just enjoy, honestly. All right, guys. Well, you know what? I am down to about 10% right now. So I think I'm going to wave bye-bye. So, hey, thank you to everyone who joined in. This has been like a nutty couple hours. I didn't realize I've been out here for a couple hours. Wow. So, yes, I'm going to go in. I'm going to try and find something to eat because I should probably eat in addition to just drinking things. Maybe I'll, have to fix Mo's thing here. Oh, thank you, Mashka. You are definitely Mo's #1 fan. I will never, ever debate that. You are Mo's #1 fan. We love every time that you comment and say things. So, hey, let me know about. Send me a picture of those keychains. Send me a picture of the keychains you were talking about. Okay, I'd be very curious to see because, like I said, I was talking about the little ingots I was going to give away, and he's got trading cards. I'm curious about the keychains, so it might be kind of fun. So, yeah, get in touch with me about that, okay? Oh, MX Charlie, hi. You just came in at the tail end. I was just saying goodbye. I'm running out of juice on my phone. So, sorry, dude, but hey, basically this entire thing was just me rambling and having some fun, talking about Mo and ideas I have, and, let's enjoy life. Let's just have some fun. The world's a little bit crazy right now, but you know what? Let's make the best of it. Try to make it better. And you know what? Just smile. Help some people out. Have some fun. I'm going to go play with my toys. Okay? See you guys. Now, if I can just figure out how to turn this off. How do you turn it off? I've never gone live before. Is that it? No, that's not it. I don't know. How do you do it? I think I'm just going to close it down. Alrighty, guys. Bye.